Ma'am, you need to leave this property immediately.
Excuse me, I live here. This is my home.
I got a call that you're trespassing. You match the description of a suspicious person.
Suspicious? I am the homeowner. This is my house.
Homeowner or not, you're leaving. I need to see your ID now.
I'm providing ID, but you are violating my rights in my own home.
Officer Ryan Mitchell had been with the Dallas Police Department for 13 years. In those 13 years, he'd accumulated 26 formal complaints. 22 of them involved black women he'd accused of trespassing, loitering, or not belonging at properties in affluent neighborhoods. A black businesswoman unlocking her condo was questioned for breaking and entering. A black nurse watering plants on her porch was told she looked suspicious. A black attorney sitting in her own backyard was detained for trespassing. A black teacher getting mail from her mailbox was investigated for unauthorized access. A black realtor showing a property she owned was arrested for burglary. A black executive unloading groceries was handcuffed for suspicious activity at a high-value residence. Every complaint ended the same way: property records confirming ownership or legal residence, internal review that cleared Mitchell, bias training he attended but dismissed, written warnings that meant nothing, union protection that blocked any real consequences. One Thursday evening in Dallas, his 13-year pattern of assuming black women didn't belong in wealthy neighborhoods finally confronted someone who'd built her career as a financial advisor, purchased her home through years of careful saving and investing, and wasn't going to accept being treated like a criminal on her own property. That confrontation would end Mitchell's career, cost the city $1 million, and expose a department that had ignored 26 complaints over 13 years. Angela Richardson, a 38-year-old certified financial planner, was standing in her own driveway in the Preston Hollow neighborhood, unloading her briefcase from her car after a long day at work when a police car pulled up and an officer stepped out with aggressive body language. Her house keys were in her hand, her driver's license in her purse in the car, her name on the deed and mortgage. No crime, no trespassing, no violation, just a financial advisor arriving home. But Officer Mitchell saw her through a lens so warped by racial assumptions and gender bias that he couldn't process a black woman at an upscale home as the legitimate owner. Before we continue, where are you watching from? Hit that subscribe button. These stories need attention. Dallas, Texas. Preston Hollow, one of the city's most prestigious neighborhoods with sprawling estates, tree-lined streets, and some of Dallas's wealthiest residents. Angela's home was a beautiful 3-bedroom ranch-style house with a manicured lawn that she'd purchased 4 years ago for $675,000. It was 6:45 p.m. on a Thursday evening, temperature 82 degrees, clear skies. The neighborhood was quiet as residents arrived home from work. Sprinklers watered lawns. The smell of dinner cooking drifted from open windows. Angela Richardson had been a certified financial planner for 15 years, currently a senior wealth advisor at Premier Financial Group, managing investment portfolios worth over $200 million for high net worth clients. She'd graduated from Texas A&M University with a degree in finance, then earned her MBA from Southern Methodist University while working full-time. She'd obtained her CFP certification, then built a reputation as one of Dallas's top financial advisors. She'd been featured in financial publications for her expertise. She earned over $300,000 annually in salary and commissions. She'd saved and invested carefully, practicing what she preached to her clients. She'd purchased her Preston Hollow home 4 years ago for $675,000, putting down $150,000 she'd saved. She'd decorated it beautifully, hosted book club meetings there, knew her neighbors well. She'd worked her entire adult life to achieve financial success in home ownership. She'd never had any problems in the neighborhood until today. That evening, Angela had worked late meeting with clients about their investment strategies and retirement planning. She'd left the office at 6:30 p.m., stopped to grab dinner to go, and driven home. She pulled into her driveway, gathered her briefcase and purse, and was about to walk to her front door when she heard a car door slam and an aggressive male voice that made her freeze. Do you think officers should verify property ownership before confronting homeowners? Drop your answer below. Officer Ryan Mitchell had those 26 complaints over 13 years. 22 involved black women at properties in affluent areas. A pattern so obvious and disturbing that multiple supervisors had recommended his termination. Women's advocacy groups had filed complaints, community organizations had protested his continued employment, and internal affairs had flagged him as a liability specifically in his interactions with black women in wealthy neighborhoods. But the police union had successfully blocked every disciplinary action, arguing that Mitchell was protecting property values and that the complaints were exaggerated. His personnel file contained identical complaints describing his pattern of assuming black women don't belong in affluent areas. One internal affairs report from 2 years ago specifically stated, Officer Mitchell demonstrates a pattern of harassment, targeting black women at upscale residential properties. His actions appear rooted in both racial and gender bias. Recommend immediate reassignment and counseling. The recommendation was ignored. He remained on patrol because the system protected him. That evening, Mitchell was patrolling Preston Hollow when he received a call about suspicious activity. Someone who didn't look like they belonged was lurking around a house. The caller, a neighbor who'd recently moved in, reported seeing a black woman acting strangely near a property. Mitchell arrived within minutes and saw Angela in business attire standing in a driveway. "Ma'am, you need to leave this property immediately." Angela turned, startled and confused. "Leave? This is my house. I own it. I received a report that someone is trespassing here." Angela looked at her briefcase, then at her house, then back at Mitchell, bewildered. "Trespassing? I live here. I'm standing in my own driveway. I just got home from work. Can you prove you own this property?" Angela felt frustration rising but kept her voice controlled. "I'm Angela Richardson. I'm a financial advisor at Premier Financial Group. I bought this house 4 years ago for $675,000. This is my home. My identification is in my purse in the car. My deed is inside the house. If you can't provide proof of ownership, you need to leave." "Leave my own property?" "Officer, I manage $200 million in client assets. I'm a certified financial planner. I own this house. You can verify everything with Dallas County property records. I need to see ID right now. My purse is in my car. Right here. I can get it. Step away from the vehicle. It's my vehicle, registered to me, parked in my driveway. Should financial professionals be arrested at their own homes? Let me know what you think." A neighbor walking past stopped on the sidewalk. "Officer, that's Angela. She lives there. She's lived there for 4 years. What's going on?" Mitchell barely acknowledged the neighbor. "Sir, keep moving, please." The neighbor, Robert Chen, persisted. "I'm not moving. She's my neighbor. We're in the neighborhood association together. That's her house." Mitchell turned back to Angela. "Ma'am, final warning. Step away from this property or you're being arrested." "Arrested for what? Standing in my own driveway after work? You're trespassing. On property I own? This is my home." Mitchell moved toward her. "Turn around and put your hands behind your back." "This is insane. I'm a financial advisor. I own this house. You're under arrest for trespassing and obstruction." "I haven't obstructed anything. I'm holding my briefcase." Mitchell grabbed Angela's arm and forced it behind her back, her briefcase falling to the ground. Angela didn't resist but spoke clearly. "I am not resisting. I'm complying. I am Angela Richardson, certified financial planner at Premier Financial Group. I own this property at 4721 Lakeside Drive. I purchased it 4 years ago for $675,000. I'm being arrested in my own driveway after work. Officer Mitchell is arresting me for being a black woman in Preston Hollow. I have witnesses." The neighbor, Robert, was already on his phone. "I'm calling the neighborhood association president. Someone call Angela's office." Mitchell handcuffed Angela, the metal tight on her wrists. He walked her toward his patrol car while Angela continued speaking, her voice steady despite her fear and anger. "I'm a certified financial planner. I advise wealthy clients on their investments. I own this home. Property records are public. My neighbors know me. I've lived here for 4 years. This officer is arresting me for coming home from work while black." More neighbors were emerging now, several recognizing Angela immediately. "That's her house," one shouted. "She's the financial advisor," another confirmed. "This is completely wrong," a third yelled. One neighbor ran to get Angela's emergency contact information from the neighborhood directory. Another was recording everything on their phone. Mitchell placed Angela in the back of his patrol car. Through the window, Angela could see her briefcase on the driveway, her car door still open, her house keys on the ground where they'd fallen, neighbors gathering with concerned faces. She'd spent her day advising clients on million-dollar portfolios. Now she was in handcuffs for coming home to her own house. The absurdity was overwhelming. The drive to the station took 19 minutes through Dallas traffic. Angela spent it thinking about the $675,000 purchase price, the $150,000 down payment she'd saved through careful financial planning, the pride she felt in her achievement, the clients she'd have to face, the lawsuit she would file. They arrived at Dallas PD's North Central Division. Mitchell walked her inside, still handcuffed, past a desk sergeant who looked up with concern at seeing a professional woman in business attire. "Mitchell, what's the situation?" "Trespassing suspect from Preston Hollow. Refused to leave the property." The sergeant frowned. "Trespassing where?" 4771 Lakeside Drive. She was at the house. Couldn't provide ID. Angela spoke up, her financial advisor voice cutting through with authority. "Sergeant, I'm Angela Richardson, certified financial planner at Premier Financial Group. That's my house. I own it. I purchased it 4 years ago for $675,000. I was unloading my briefcase in my own driveway after work when Officer Mitchell arrested me for trespassing on my own property. Dallas County property records will show Angela Richardson as owner since 2020. My neighbors vouched for me. This is my home." The sergeant's expression changed. "You own the house?" "For 4 years. I'm a financial advisor. I manage over $200 million in client assets. I'm a certified financial planner. My neighbors know me. One tried to tell Officer Mitchell I live there. He ignored him and arrested me anyway." The sergeant looked at Mitchell with growing anger. "Did you verify property ownership?" She couldn't provide identification. "Because my identification is in my purse in my car. I had just arrived home from work. I was unloading my briefcase when he confronted me." "Did you check property records, talk to neighbors, verify anything?" She looked suspicious at that property. The sergeant pulled up Dallas County property records. Within seconds, Angela Marie Richardson, owner since June 2020, purchase price $675,000. Current assessed value $720,000. He turned to Mitchell with fury. "She owns the house. Records confirm it. You arrested a homeowner in her own driveway for coming home from work." Within minutes, a lieutenant arrived, Patricia Martinez, a 21-year veteran who'd been documenting Mitchell's pattern of complaints against black women and recommending his removal. She reviewed everything, spoke with neighbors who'd witnessed the arrest and were calling the station, confirmed Angela's professional credentials and property ownership. She approached Angela, still handcuffed. "Miss Richardson, this arrest was completely unjustified. You're being released immediately with our sincerest apologies." She turned to Mitchell with cold anger. "You arrested a financial professional at her own house for unloading her briefcase after work. Property records confirm 4 years of ownership. Neighbors confirmed her identity. You had zero probable cause, badge and weapon. You're suspended pending termination." Mitchell protested. "Lieutenant, I was responding to a suspicious person call. You arrested a woman in business attire standing in her own driveway at a house she paid $675,000 for. You didn't verify anything. You ignored neighbors. You've generated 26 complaints in 13 years, 22 involving black women at properties in affluent areas. Supervisors have tried to remove you for years. This ends now. Badge, weapon, now." By the next day, the story was spreading rapidly. Premier Financial Group issued a statement supporting Angela. The financial services community rallied. Local news covered it. Video from neighbors went viral. Angela's clients began speaking out about her professionalism and expertise. Angela filed a comprehensive lawsuit 5 months later against Officer Ryan Mitchell, his supervisors who'd ignored 26 complaints, and Dallas PD. The allegations: false arrest without probable cause on her own property, false imprisonment, trespassing by Mitchell on her property, violation of Fourth Amendment rights, racial profiling and discrimination, gender-based discrimination, violation of property rights, intentional infliction of emotional distress, damage to her professional reputation, deliberate indifference to Mitchell's pattern targeting black women. The complaint included Mitchell's record: 26 complaints over 13 years, 22 involving black women at properties in affluent neighborhoods. Dallas's city attorneys found no defense. Property records proved 4 years of ownership. Neighbors provided witness statements. Angela's professional credentials were impeccable. She was in business attire after work. Mitchell made no attempt to verify. The pattern showed deliberate indifference. The city settled 16 months later, $1 million paid to Angela Richardson. Officer Ryan Mitchell was terminated 8 weeks after the incident. The termination letter stated, "Officer Mitchell arrested Angela Richardson, a certified financial planner, at her own residence for arriving home from work. He had no probable cause. His pattern over 13 years demonstrates racial and gender bias. Employment terminated. Immediately. Mitchell's name entered the National Decertification Index. Angela testified before Dallas City Council. I'm a financial advisor. I manage investment portfolios for wealthy clients. I'm a certified financial planner. I own my home in Preston Hollow. I purchased it 4 years ago through careful financial planning and saving. And I was arrested in my own driveway for coming home from work because Officer Mitchell saw a black woman at a nice house and couldn't conceive that I might own it. She continued. 26 complaints in 13 years. 22 involving black women. That's not law enforcement. That's targeting women who look like me because we don't fit someone's stereotype of who belongs in wealthy neighborhoods. Dallas PD documented it but did nothing until I was arrested. $1 million is what taxpayers paid, but money doesn't undo being handcuffed in front of neighbors after a long day advising clients. Dallas PD implemented reforms. Mandatory property verification before trespassing arrests. Automatic investigation at 3 complaints. Body camera review. Prohibition on arrests without verified complaints from property owners. Why do departments wait for 26 complaints instead of 3? Comment your thoughts. This wasn't about one Thursday evening. This was about tolerating Ryan Mitchell for 13 years, despite 26 complaints targeting black women. Mitchell's career is over. The city paid $1 million. But that came after 13 years of warnings. Comment if patterns targeting black women specifically should trigger federal intervention. And if these stories matter, hit that subscribe button. This isn't about one officer or one financial advisor. It's about systems that ignore bias against black women and the right to be safe at your own home.